To the association we go. Sixers taking on the Bulls. Take you the middle of the first quarter with the Sixers up by 1. Tyrese Maxey will find Joel Embiid, who gets the bucket through contact plus the foul. Embiid thinks twice about celebrating. Sixers lead by 4. Ensuing Bulls possession, Josh Giddey to Zach Collins. Beyond the arc, Bulls trailing by 1. Ensuing 76ers possession, Embiid and Paul George work the two-man game. Embiid gets the layup to go. Embiid had 16 points in the first half. Ensuing Bulls possession, Jalen Smith will knock down the 3. Giddey had 8 assists in the first half, including that one. Bulls trail by 3. At recess, mid-third quarter, Sixers up 7. Paul George will miss the 3. VJ Edgecombe collects the board, and George will make the second chance. The Sixers go up double digits. A minute later, Bulls down 8. Isaac Okoro drives and kicks to Kevin Huerter for the 3. Bulls down 5. Minute later, Bulls down 4 now. Smith jabs, fires. Bulls cut the lead to 1. Into the final frame, the Sixers up 2. Embiid will give it to Maxey. Maxey takes it to the rack. 27 points as the Sixers go up 4. But later in the fourth, Bulls down 3. Giddey kicks it to Smith. Smith, oh my! Ooh. So nice, we got to see it twice and thrice. Insane athleticism. Watch this again. Come on now. That could be number 1 on the SportsCenter top 10.
Darn right.
My goodness, Bulls cut the lead to 1. Now the next Bulls possession, Kobe White with the ISO on Embiid. He'll hit the step back from deep. The Bulls take the lead. They go up 2. Next Bulls possession, White will reject the screen, trips and falls, but finds Trey Jones for the layup, and the Bulls will win by a final score of 109-102. They get their 9th double-digit comeback win, most in the NBA.
Red hot Celtics, winners of 7 of 9 in December. Only Detroit has been better, and of course, no one in the East is better than the Pistons. Who's been better than Jaylen Brown of late? Free throw line jumper for the Celtics star, pulling Boston to within 3. Indiana really struggling of late. A couple minutes later, Peyton Pritchard, EPND style on the crossover, knocks his defender down. Pritchard went for 29. Boston shot 57% from the field, 20 of 39 from behind the arc. 8 different Celtics made at least 1 3. Derek White, one of them. Dialed in right there. The Celtics led by 13. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Brown. How about Boston putting up 47 points in the second quarter? Third most in any quarter since 2000. They led by 14. Brown entering the fourth quarter needed 6 points to extend his streak of 8 straight 30-point games, and he was feeling it. Up 22. Step back, you don't know me like that. It's the second longest streak in Celtics history. Only Larry Legend has more consecutive 30-point games. Second time this year, Boston hits 140 in a single game, 140-22. Here you go. Second longest streak behind the 9 in a row Larry Bird went for in 1985. 18 30-point games this season. Arda, second most in the league behind SGA.
And to talk about all of it, we got Big Perk joining us now. The Celtics' surprising season continues. Hey, Perk, everyone thought that this was going to be a gap year, but they're right where they were, where they're used to being, near the top of the East. So how do you evaluate their season so far?
I mean, look, they're one of the biggest surprises in this short NBA season thus far. And when you look at the Celtics, Jaylen Brown is playing at an all-NBA level right now. Derek White, he's been up and down, but still, when he is on, he's at an all-star level. And we forget Peyton Pritchard won 6th Man of the Year last year. And when you look at this squad, they have a lot of championship experience. And I'm looking at them being number 3 in the Eastern Conference right now with Jason Tatum. You know, there's whispers out there that Jason Tatum may be on his way back. And so now it's going to look a lot different in the Eastern Conference when you get an experienced ball club like the Boston Celtics. Now, I know they're missing and traded away some key pieces, but they still got that two-headed monster when you talk about putting Jason Tatum back in the mix. And with the Cavs struggling, right now Detroit and the Knicks looking like the only 2 clear-cut favorites to even represent the East, better watch out for the Celtics, especially if they get Tatum.
This is Boston's 8th win by 15 or more points so far this season. Perk, hang tight.
Yeah, we're at meantime in L.A. Trouble for the Lakers. Our Shams Charania reporting Austin Reaves will miss at least 4 weeks after undergoing an MRI that revealed a grade 2 calf strain. The fifth-year veteran had been enjoying a career season, averaging a personal best 26.6 points per game. Big Perk is back with us. Perk, you've been very vocal about the Lakers not being built to contend. Now that their second leading scorer is out, what does it mean for L.A.?
Well, one, I hated for Austin Reaves. He's having a hell of a season. I'm thinking that he's going to be a first-time All-Star, but it means that the Lakers got to get their stuff together, and it's going to start tomorrow at practice with the meeting, JJ Redick said, and they got to put it all out on the table. But this means more LeBron James, because Austin Reaves was that second guy, that Robin to Luka, and we saw LeBron James taking the back seat. So now it's up to JJ Redick and the coaching staff to make sure they get LeBron James with his positive energy, get him back engaged again. Because the LeBron James that I saw on Christmas night was not an engaged LeBron James. And in order for the Lakers to even stay afloat and have a chance of just making the playoffs in the Western Conference, they're going to have to start winning games now. They're not going to do that if they have a disgruntled LeBron James.
Austin Reaves and Luka combining for 60.3 points per game, highest scoring duo in the NBA this season. The Lakers get the Kings Sunday night. Kendrick.
Wow. Listen, earlier this week, he called them out for their defensive lackluster effort. Give me your thoughts, Big Perk, what you heard out of JJ Redick.
It's always somebody else's fault. It's never JJ Redick's fault. It's never, and look, I watched the game last night. Did I see LeBron James pouting all game long? Did I see the bad body language from LeBron? Absolutely. Did I see him not putting forth the defensive effort and getting back in transition, only having 2 rebounds last night in the game when you know a team loves to pound the glass and grab offensive rebounds? Did I see your best player, your franchise player, Luka Dončić, complaining after every single call? You damn right I did. But JJ, why don't they care? Why are they not playing hard? Why are they not trying to compete on the defensive side of things? You're the coach. That's a reflection of you. When your team is not responding and going out there and competing at a high level defensively and playing hard, that's saying that they're not listening or that they somewhat lack respect for you. So it's got to be a level of accountability all across the board. I understand. Listen, JJ Redick, he had a pretty damn good season last year. But let's not act like he went to the conference finals. Let's not act like he won the NBA championship. It's some things that he needs to work on, and it's also, if he's going into that meeting and practice on Saturday, he needs to be addressing the best 2 players on the team, and that's LeBron James and Luka Dončić, for their lack of effort, lack of inconsistency, and lack of leadership that they're displaying right now.
I'm kind of scratching my head, Monica, about this team because, obviously LeBron didn't start the season off with them, and they were rolling off wins left and right, and everybody's like, oh, look at the Lakers. And then all of a sudden, things just flipped. How much did JJ Redick deserve blame here?
I mean, he's in it. Those are your guys. That's your team. You are the leader. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you got to take responsibility. I don't think that he's not willing to take responsibility, though. I think about the conversations when JJ was still our colleague. I think about the podcast a little bit. And he was a guy that played in the league for 15 years as a specialist. And so I think there's a way that he sees it that, to Perk's point, is not necessarily connecting with his stars. But the other thing, too, that I think, BC, we got to be honest about, the league is getting younger and younger and younger. And I get it. LeBron James is one of one. Luka Dončić, MVP candidate, all of that good stuff.
Right.
But the way that Houston plays, the way that OKC plays, the way that the Spurs are playing, the teams that you're chasing in the West, like, the other teams are now in a position to expose in a big-time way, in my mind, the areas that the Lakers come up short in. Now, I agree. Everybody has to be looked at when it comes to this Lakers organization, but the reality of it to me is that the league is changing over, and right now, they're just not built to continue to keep up.
Perk, I see you percolating.
I get that, Monica, but at the same time, both of these teams the Rockets and the Lakers both walked into this Christmas Day game struggling. The Rockets had lost their last 2. They were struggling to find their identity. And I'm not saying you're going to listen. I'm not saying you're going to win every single game in the NBA. But this is about the 5th or 6th time this season that JJ has come out publicly calling his team out about the little things and the lack of effort. That is disturbing. That is frustrating. And why I say JJ has to hold himself accountable, because there's only so many times throughout the course of the season that a head coach can continue to call out his team. We have never seen JJ Redick come to the podium and say, oh, huh?
But let me jump in, though, because you live this. What's the disconnect then? Like, what do you perceive as the disconnect? Because we all know JJ knows ball, right? We all know LeBron and Luka are great. What is the disconnect? Because from where I'm sitting, it is like a lack of effort. Is that an oversimplification?
No, but what I'm saying, the disconnect got to be that he doesn't have the ears of that locker room. Because if he did, then we wouldn't be having these conversations, right? I always look at a team that play with effort, that play hard defensively. Even though we know that they're lacking the personnel, they still not putting forth the effort. And that comes from them not receiving the message from their head coach and the leader of their locker room.
We're going to talk more about the Lakers a little bit later in the show. But coming up, listen,